Errors are an inevitable part of the developer's journey. If you are a developer, you will be coming across different kinds of errors in your day-to-day life. And if you want to be a great developer, you should know how to fix these errors and in a small span of time. So, hello dear viewers and welcome to World of Python. So, in today's video, we will be discussing about what are the different kinds of errors that are commonly occurring in Python and how we can fix them. Okay, so first error which we are discussing here is the name error. So let's say if I am doing print and I am writing my var, so in this case I would be getting a name error. So what is happening here is that we are trying to print something which is not existing with Python. So Python doesn't know what is my var. So that is why it is saying that name my var is not defined. So first of all, if you want to resolve this kind of errors, you should define the thing which is it is saying that it's non-defined. So here it is saying that my var is not defined. So you should first of all look if you have defined my var. If it is not defined, you should define by giving it some value which is relevant to your case. So for an example, just if I say my var equal to 13, and now if I am saying print my var, it would say 13 and the error would be gone. So this is the way how you can resolve the name error. Let's look at second type of error, that is a syntax error. So let's say if I am doing something like 123 var equal to 13. So I am creating a variable basically and I am assigning it some value, but I would be getting a syntax error. So the reason for this is because the syntax for variable name is that you should start the variable name with a string and not with some number or something else. So if you want to fix this kind of errors, you should give a proper variable name starting with the alphabet and not starting with a number. So let's say if I am just giving var1 equal to 13. So this is acceptable, that would be accepted by Python. If I am saying print var1, so that would be accepted and we won't get the syntax error. So this is the way how we can resolve the syntax error. Let's move to the next type of error, that is the type error. So if we are taking num equal to 10 and then if we are trying to do 20, so just make a note that I have added 20 into double quotes. Let's see what happens. Yes, we would be getting the type error in this case because we are trying to add int and string together. So that is not possible. So because of that we are getting this kind of an error. So if you want to resolve these kind of errors, you should make sure that both the operands which are there in this case, so that should be a int or that should be a string. So either you can do something like num plus 20, so that would be accepted and it would give the answer to you, that is 30. Or else if you are having two different strings, num1 plus num2, and we are adding it into result, so result would be having num2. So that is basically the concatenation of two strings. Here we are having strings, so that's why it would be giving us num1 num2, that is the concatenated string. Now let's look at value error. So let's say if I am doing num equal to int of abc. Yes, so I would be getting a value error in this case. So the reason being that I am trying to convert into int a string. So abc is a string over here and that I am trying to convert it into int. So that is not possible. So it would give me an error, that value error and invalid literal for int with base 10, that is abc. So basically abc it is not able to convert it into int and because of that it's giving an error. So if you want to fix this kind of errors, you should do something like num equal to int of, let's say this is a string, and now if you want to check the value of num, it would be 10, which is an integer. So type of num would be a class int. So in this way you can fix the value error. Let's see one another type of error, that is the attribute error. So let's say if I am having my list equal to 1 2 3 and I am doing my list dot upper, so it would give me an attribute error saying that list objects has no attribute upper. So basically list has a specific set of methods like append, extend, and there are many more methods which are associated with the list. But if you are trying to access an attribute which is not related to a list, in that case it would be giving you an attribute error. So to fix this kind of errors, you just need to check out that what kind of methods are there associated with these kind of objects. So in this context we are having the list as an object, so you would have to check that what are the different methods associated with the list, and according to that you can just add that method whichever is relevant in your case, and in this way you can fix that error. One another type of error which commonly comes, so that is the memory error. So let's say I am doing something like data equal to a list of 0, so we are having only one element and we are trying to replicate it, let's say a large number of times. So in that case we would be getting this overflow error. It is saying that cannot fit int into an index sized integer. So basically the whatever size is allocated for integer, so that is getting overflowed because we are trying to fit a whole lot of data in that case. So make sure that whatever data you are trying to give as an input or you are trying to process, that should be properly in the range, or if it is overflowing you would have to use different kinds of mechanisms like chunking of data or breaking it into different parts, or there are various other algorithms to do that. So stay tuned in this series to know about those algorithms as well. Okay, so next type of error is division by 0. So if you are trying to divide anything by 0, so that is not possible and you would be getting a zero division error. It is straightforward that you are trying to divide something by 0, so you should try to avoid doing this. You should have some proper value into the denominator other than 0. So that is the way how you can resolve this error. Okay, let's look into one other type of error, that is unbound local error. So these kind of errors are mostly coming in Python, and most of the times it is clueless how to resolve this error. So let's look into an example. So let's say I'm creating one function over here, that is def my function, and I'm writing over here print my var, and I'm declaring it later, that is my var equal to 10. Now let's say if I am calling this function, you would be getting this unbound local error. It says cannot access local variable myvar where it is not associated with the value. So basically when this function is executed, it is trying to print the value of this myvar, but myvar is not declared here. It finds out that myvar is declared later. So because of that it would give this error, that unbound local error. So for fixing these kind of errors, you should try to check that whatever you are trying to access is already present in the code or not. If it is not present, so in that case you would be getting an unbound local error.
Let's look at one other type of error, that is the index error. So many a times you would have come across this kind of thing, that list index is out of range, and you must be wondering that how I can fix it. So let's look at what this error is and how we can fix it. So let's say I'm having one list, that is my list equal to 1 2 3. Okay, and if I'm saying print my list and fourth element, so in this case I would be getting this index error. It would say that list index is out of range. So why this is coming is this, because I'm trying to access the fourth location over here. If you see the list, my list is having only 3 locations, means 3 data is there, but I'm trying to access the fourth data. So because of that I'm getting this error, and it is saying that list index is out of range, means the fourth index which I am trying to access, that is completely out of range. So one another thing to note over here is that this list indexing starts from 0. So 1 is basically 0th location, 2 is first location, 3 is the second location. So if I try to print any of these locations, so I would be not getting this kind of an error. So let's try it out. So let's say if I'm saying print and my list of 2, which is the last element, so yes, I'm getting 3. So if you see 0 1 and 2, so 3, which was the second location in the list, so that is printed correctly, and we are not getting the index error in this case. So this is the way how we can resolve the index error. In simple words, it is like you need to check which index is available in your data, and only that index you can print. Or if you are trying to access some other data other than the location which is accessible, so in that case you will be getting the index error.
So I hope you found this video knowledgeable and helpful. If you like this video, do press that thumbs up button over there, and let me know whatever you want to know more about Python in the comment section. Do share and subscribe for more. Thank you.